I sent a little package for Birgit Smith. We became email, what do you call it? Pals, I guess. And I sent her a package of, I don't know how many it was, a box of CDs, and I said, why don't you give these to Paul's men? And she told me, well, you know, Robert, and I asked her, since we were going to Florida, you know, if we could do a show for her, and she said, well, you know, Robert, I'd love to have you do a show, but I'm having surgery, and Paul's men are back in Iraq again for their second tour. So she sent them all over to Iraq, and I hope they're all enjoying them, because, you know, hey, I feel pretty good if I got a CD with the guy that saved my life on the cover of it. You know, what a way to say thanks. The next song we got is a song that was written by a veteran I met a few years back, and he's a Vietnam veteran, and he was with the 101st Airborne. And what this guy saw in combat really messed up his mind, because he was in and out of the hospital, you know, and I guess he's had it really rough, but this guy's mind is brilliant. You know, what didn't get messed up on the battlefield, he wrote books, and when he met me, he said, hey Robert, how about I write you poems and you put music to them? This guy could write 3-4 poems a day. I can't write that many songs a day, but I tried the best I could, and I put a few of them down on music, but it was just with guitar and vocals. And I brought him over to Russ's, and he's picking through, and I sang all these, and Russ goes, hey, I like that melody there. And Russ really makes it a melody, and it's called Stories, and this is like the guy's mortality. I mean, he's from the beginning verse all the way till the last verse, which I can remember the songs I write, but when others write them, I need a cheat sheet. But it's a really powerful song, and I thought it was fitting for the CD, and obviously Russ did too. And that's what I'm gonna play for you now. And if you're still with us, hey, brother, I told you, it's not if, it's when. And when is now. And you're going to hear this, because everybody's going to hear this, because you wrote a masterpiece here, and me and Russ are going to make it roll. I like it. There's a man in the street, and he's following me. I see him in my dreams, but when I turn back and I call to him, he's always gone, it seems. I see him in the morning mist, just before I open my eyes, and I stick out my hands and I touch his face. There's nothing there but a sight. There are paths that I walk that are secret to me, and sometimes I flee for fear, but still they come back and they linger about. Could it be that there's something that's dear? Could it be someone who once loved me? Could it be someone who really cares? Could it be the old man who sits on the moon? I still hear the stories he shared. I can still hear the stories he shared. In the black of the night where no one can see, I can fight through the sky like the wind, doing dives and flips and amazing feats. Could it be he believes I have sinned? There's a man in the dark and he's watching me. but I never search out his eyes, and I don't even know if they're blue or they're black, or they're tinted with tears that he cries. And I reach out my hands and I search for his, and I don't know the reason I do. There's a place in my heart I could make for him, where I find my memories are few. Could it be someone who once loved me? Could it be someone who really cares? Could it be the old man who sits on the moon? I still hear the stories he shared. I can still hear the stories he shared. There's a dream in my head and it won't go away, and it's there when I turn to my bed, and its colors are bright and its sounds make me sigh, and it's nestled there deep in my head. And I think to myself as I walk on the sea, as only in dreams you can do, that maybe he's waiting for me to find him, like an old leather slipper or shoe. Could it be someone who once loved me? Could it be someone who really cares? Could it be the old man who sits on the moon? I still hear the stories he shared. I can still hear the stories he shared. I am 80 years old, I am told by my son, and now I can go where I may. And it's time to remember my grandfather's touch in my dreams where he comes to play. In my dreams where he comes to Thank you. That is a really, really neat song.
Sign the CD real quick.
Oh, okay. I'll stop for that. You'll have to supply a pig. Sign it in blood spot. Here, what's that? Oh, this next one. This next song you're really gonna like. It's a sad song, but it's a tribute. Last summer, or this summer, a couple months ago, Russ and I were in the studio again, and we were wondering what song to write, and we just got through watching the news, and there were 14 Marines that were from Ohio, and one of them roadside bombs went off, and all 14 of these Marines from Ohio, which were reserves, Marine reserves, they were all killed. And I guess somebody from Montana was attached to them too, from Helena, as a matter of fact. And but I won't mention their name until they want their name mentioned. But that's how far this reaches out. It just wasn't the guys from Ohio. But I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio. Well, not raised, but born there. So it's kind of touching and personal for me. And Russ came up with a melody, and I couldn't follow it, you know, because I'm not the best of following music. So Russ kind of do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I mean, he went all the way through the song like that, and he said, "Now, Robert, just put lyrics in there where I was doing the do-do-do-do-do-do." And I said, "All right." So I went up and bugged my wife and daughter at the camping site until they left. And I was doing the do-do-do-do-do, and I was, okay, I need lyrics. And I just said, "Well, hey, You already got them. The story's right there. It's those brave Marines that died from Ohio. So this is titled Calling Them Home to Ohio. And on Russ's cue, he'd be the electronics.
2, 3, 4.
It's being stubborn, okay. Did I do something? As we sit here and remember the 14 reasons why, and when you hear their tragic story, it will make you break down and cry. Now you know they all had family, and you know they all had friends, and the memories we all cherish will stay with us till the end. Think of what they've missed out, and they did not get to do. Precious moments, we'll be calling them home to you. These Marines, they were our brothers from the state of Ohio, and they all went down together by a cowardly terrorist foe. To the family of these brave men, our hearts go out to you. In the sacrifice you've given, we only pray God gets you through. Think of what they've missed out, and they did not get to do. All those precious moments, we'll be calling them home to you. And this is a really special song. I said, hey Russ, I've got a song, I've got a love song. And Russ goes, well, let's hear it. So I'm doing this da-da, 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 and Russ goes, Robert, put the guitar down. And he says, here, let's kind of sex it up, man, get the mood. But hey Russ, I'm doing all the talking. You're gonna sing on this too. Why don't you say what you did?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
You're talking.
Thank you. Which one are we doing here?
We're gonna do Hold Her Tight.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Am I supposed to say something?
Well, we were waiting on that.
Hey, kids, how you doing?
A long time ago, I wrote this for my wife because I said, I can play guitar, look, I can write songs. But Russ made it the melody and set the mood.
Like butter.
Like butter, yeah. Spray?
Oh. Thank you.
To bring her back around, take her in your arms and show her you care. Whisper in her ear, he'll always be there. You've got to take your lady out on the town, take her on the dance floor, dance her around. Take her in your arms and hold her real tight. Whisper in her ear, she's out of sight. Take your lady by the hand, make your baby understand. Tell her what she needs to know, tell her that you love her so. Make your baby understand. Tell her what she needs to know, tell her that you love her so. It's late at night and you hold her tight. You let her know everything's alright. You bring her close and let her know you only want your love to grow. Now she knows your love is true. There's just one thing left to do. When times are down and she don't understand, just remind her how your love began. Take your lady by the hand, make your baby understand. Tell her what she needs to know, tell her that you love her so. Take your lady by the hand, make your baby understand. Tell her what she needs to know, tell her that you love her so. Thank you. Thank you. Which one are we doing? Order diet? Yeah, dark blue. Yeah. Excuse me while I get my mic back here. I hope that's sounding all right. When we did this in the garage, we was in front of the speakers, but now we're behind the speakers.
So should I just stand over here? Or?
Yeah, that'll work. This next song is called A Dark Wind Blowin', and actually this was our first rocker, and I was sitting in there trying to ramble out some lyrics, and Russ was in the studio, and started playing this. And I go, hey, that's pretty neat. And he started playing more, and I started writing more, and then I come in and I said, Russ, how's this sound? He goes, no, we want to make this personal. So I said, oh. So I went back out, and now it's Russ's turn to talk.
Well, the song Dark... Get away from me. Get. The song Dark Wind Blowing kind of came out of the dark realms in my mind. It's kind of a dialogue of mortality between those who are on the field and in harm's way and unmarked gravestones waiting for the recipients. And so it's kind of macabre, but in the same sense, it's kind of real in the sense that you're not sure from day to day what is going to unfold for you. And the voices of those who have passed on, the dialogue and so on. So the white stones on the hill are kind of self-explanatory, unmarked names of the unmarked soldiers. So that's kind of where the song came from, and goes out to those who have fallen, and our prayers and hopes. So this is what it's all about.
Stones on the hill waiting for me there. I'm a constant battle, you can hear my deadly cry. For the white stones waiting there, no reason why.
Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, their stories yet untold. Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, and I'll be praying for their souls.
From the other side, it's coming to me clear. The mournful cries of those I loved, whose memories I hold dear. The brotherhood that we all share now holds its final line. We're hung these stones together until the end of time.
Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, their stories yet untold. Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, and I'll be praying for their souls.
Calling out to you, your time has come. And the white stones on the hill that waits for you, my son. On the constant battle that rages in your head, all the choices that have been played out now echo in the dead.
Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, the stories yet untold. Around me men are falling, the young ones and the old. I hear their cries from foreign lands, and I'll be praying for their souls.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, thank you. This next song, is a very special song to me. It's one of the very first songs, actually, that I wrote. And is quite a few years ago, back in the 90s, there's a young man, a Marine, that my wife worked with his wife, and I found out that he had Agent Orange cancer, and he didn't have much time to live. And his wife was wondering if I would come over and play something for him, you know, because I did that for other people. And I said, yeah, if he wants to hear me. So he didn't stay at the VA. He stayed at St. Pete's because he said they were better looking nurses. So that's why he was at St. Pete's. He felt a little bit more at home. But this guy was something else. This was around Christmas time when Toys for Tots are collecting, you know, toys to give out to those that don't have them. Well, Tom Alley, he just received his 100% disability compensation. But the joke was kind of like on him because he's going to die in a week. And all this time he's been waiting for a disability, and now he's getting ready to die, and the government says, hey, Tom, we're finally going to make it right. So when I went there, I happened to be doing the Toys for Tots and stuff too. And I met this guy, and his neck was covered, and I knew what that was. He's literally being eaten alive. But what a guy, man. He says, you know, Robert, he goes, I just got my 100% and I'm not going to be able to spend it. And he says, and I know I heard you on the radio collecting for Toys for Tots. So he opened up my hand and he gave me a wad of bills and says, here, give that to the kids. And then he says, hey, I got some friends down the hall that are dying too. You think you could come and play for them? And I looked at this guy and thought, man, how can he be so calm and cool? He's dying. And I said, hey, Tom, it's your show. And I said, you know what you just did for those kids? I said, you know you just earned yourself a job at the pearly gates. And as we walked down the hall, this song was coming into my head. And by the time we got to the room where I was going to play for his friends that are dying too, I said, hey, Tom, I don't want to be morbid, but I wrote a song to what you just did. But it's a funeral song. And he says, well, I want to hear it. And I played that, and I've played that for many, many funerals. And any Marine that wants to be buried to it, you have my permission. Now he's earned a job at the pearly gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. Now he's earned a job at the pearly gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. You see, there is a saying every true Marine will know: if he serves his country brave and proud, he has a special place to go. He'll be standing guard at the pearly gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. He'll be standing guard at the pearly gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. Watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. He'll be standing guard at the pearly gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. So if there is a lesson in life some of you would like to learn, when you meet a true Marine, you know his title he has earned. He'll be standing guard at the pearly gate, army gates, watching over heaven, keeping everything straight. Thank you, thank you. That one's hard not to get emotional, but that Marine in me says, don't you do it. So, we got two more songs for you that we're not going to sing these live because these leave a message that we want to leave with you. And the first one, I'll let Russ tell you about it while he's over there fidgeting with the CD.
You need a regular CD.
You need a regular CD?
Where's the regular CD?
Here, just grab one. But it's called, what do you got, Wind Dancer down here?
Yeah.
Wind Dancer, but that's not what it says on the CD. But anyway, tell him what it is, Russ.
When I get the CD in.
When he gets the CD in.
Look at my head. Keep talking.
Well, anyway, this song is,
Broadcast that we're selling CDs here.
oh yeah, if anybody would like a copy of what we're singing here, we have CDs on the table here that each CD that's sold, $5 goes to Montana Supporting Soldiers. So this is a good cause, and they buy packages and care packages and stuff for the troops over there on the front lines, the ones that we're singing about here. And so if you're interested in what we're singing, help us out, help them out, you know. And the ladies right there have the CDs for us. It was nice of them to come. And that's Lyanne Meyer, and she is the founder of Montana Supporting Soldiers. And we teamed up together. I think that's neat. She's doing something neat, and we're trying to help her.
The other thing too, just in case people miss out on the show here, we do have a website up, www.werememberthepeople, or We the People Remember. I'm dyslexic, never mind. 2 ducks and a pig. So it's www.wethepeopleremember. There we go. Got both brain sides going at the same time. .com. Yeah, don't forget that, otherwise you'll end up somewhere. So in case you're interested, you can check out the website. We'll be updating it. We will have MP3 samples of the songs that are on the CD here for you to take a listen to. Upcoming events and things as they unfold. And hopefully a whole bunch of new stuff coming up with stories from vets. And we're just going to keep expanding it until we can't go any farther. So
you guys might have noticed the camera over here. This is Jeannie from Helena Civic Television. And they're filming this, and this is going to be on the show Wednesday of Voices of the Veterans at 8:30 on Wednesday, and maybe another show or two. But I'd like to thank them for coming here for us. That's mighty nice of you. And
okay, next song we're going to play here is called Windwalker. And it's kind of a dedication to everyone, but it does have a Native American flavor to it. The narration of the first part of the song is from the Hopi tribe, and it's their prayer of peace to bring things together and to end the conflict and contradictions. The ending of the song consists of the Lord's Prayer in Cherokee. So it kind of brings a message and then fulfills it and brings it to fruition. So this one we're not going to be singing on, so it will just be the music and the narration, but hope you enjoy it. And again, it's called Windwalker.
Great Spirit and all unseen, this day we pray and ask you for guidance. Humbly we ask you to help us and fellow men to have recourse to peaceful ways of life because of uncontrolled deceitfulness by humankind. Help us all to love, not hate one another. We ask you to be seen in an image of love and peace. Let us be seen in beauty, the colors of the rainbows. We respect our Mother Earth and all living things. And with loving care, from her breast, we receive our nourishment.
How often we forget that colors run together neath the rising sun. Let not our hearts betray that truth and sacrifice was paid by everyone.
Let us not listen to the voices of the two-hearted, the destroyers of mind, the haters of self-made leaders, whose lusts for power and wealth will lead us into confusion and darkness. Seek visions always of world beauty, not violence nor battlefields. It is our duty to pray always for harmony between men and the earth, so that the earth will bloom once more. Let us show our emblem of love and goodwill for all life and the sanctity of the land.
How often we forget that colors run together neath the rising sun. Let not our hearts betray that truth and sacrifice was paid by everyone.
Let us pray for the House of Glass, the United Nations. Pray for within it our minds clear and pure as ice and mountain streams. Pray for the great leaders of nations in the House of Micah, who in their own quiet ways help the earth in her balance. We pray to the Great Spirit that one day our Mother Earth will be purified into a healthy, peaceful one. Let us sing for strength of wisdom with all nations for the good of all its people.
How often we forget that colors run together neath the rising sun. Let not our hearts betray that truth and sacrifice was paid by everyone.
Oki dota kalala ti hehi kalak ti you get sesti there's a dumb on it. Check out when you get some we're gonna new boy. Ahni Elohi when you got step about test going. Naskiya kalala ti in gasti huh. Let out all the guisan oga starti ski and sikohi inka. The geski and sebu no deski to going. Naskiya the gioti never to tuki. Alay testi utako lieti kesa with this diaki nastanagi. Ski with the last days to bruskini to your gesami. Jajeli ka heno to go with you get sign. Alay jalili ti you get sign. Alay is a luck ti you get sign ni go healing. Amen.
And it's in the right place because a lot of people don't know where the song Taps originated. Well, I was out at the VA and I got a magazine that was sitting on the table and I started reading, which is something I don't do. But I just happened to see this article standing out and says, "Did you know where the song Taps came from?" No, I didn't. So I read this and I thought, hey, that would be neat to do. And we did it for an elementary school in Townsend. And the kids really loved it, so I said, I got to keep that one in the register. And then I told Russ about the song, and Russ said, I didn't know Taps had lyrics. I didn't know it had 3 verses. but it does. And the story before the song is the actual story of how taps came about. So that will finish our show. And I'd like to thank everybody for listening to us and coming. And on that note, Russ.
In 1862, one of the bloodiest battles ever fought by American troops took place in Harris Land in Virginia. A Union captain by the name of Captain Ellicombe, no longer being able to take the sounds of moaning and groaning from a wounded man that lay on the battlefield. So he crawled on his hands and knees to retrieve this young man, not knowing whether he was a Union soldier or a Confederate soldier. He drug him all the way back to the Union side. And when he got him there, the man died in his arms. And when he held the lantern up to his face, he was overtaken with grief and became numb, because the face he was looking at was that of his son, who had gone off to Dixie to learn music. And when the Civil War broke out, he neglected to tell his father that he joined the Confederate side. And out of the top pocket of his son's uniform, he pulled a piece of paper, and there was musical notes and some lyrics. And the next morning he asked if his son could have a full military burial. And his superior said yes, but he's a Confederate, so you get one band member. He picked a bugler. And if you've ever been to a military funeral, you'll never forget the haunting sound of this melody, and that's taps.
Detail, out and hook, freeze and hook.
Day is done, gone the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest. God is nigh. Fading light dims the night, and a star gems the sky, gleaming bright. From afar, drawing nigh, falls the night. Thanks and praise for our days, 'neath the sun, 'neath the stars, 'neath the sky. As we go, this we know, God is nigh.
Robert and I would like to dedicate this album to all the brave men and women who have served in the past, present, and future of this great country. It is the responsibility of the citizens of this nation, despite political opinion, spiritual belief, or moral judgment, to maintain respect, compassion, and understanding for all who have made the choice to serve as representatives and upholders of a free democracy in times of peace and conflict. For in the end, many have given life and limb for their convictions. The time has come for us as a nation to put aside our pettiness and argumentative ways. No longer do those who represent us speak for us truthfully. Division is the food they offer the hungry and needy. The platitudes of venom they offer us to quench our thirst in times of need kills the heart and numbs the mind. We must forgive ourselves as we pray others will forgive us, for only then may we ascend to the next level as a race unified under a banner of compassion and acceptance. Let our truths be self-evident once more, and the voices of those forgotten heard loudly above the chatter of the uncaring. Proclaim with great fervor, God bless America, for we, the people, have fought for that right.